What's going on, everyone?
Very flat.
Happy Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. Welcome to Brandon's Show. I am Brandon. And today we got some good stuff going on. There was some announcements that were pretty interesting. Some things happened over the last couple days. Dark matter may not exist. Says, let's see, NBCnews.com. So, you know, that's a pile of shit, but that might be fun to laugh at. Where's Wally? He put out a 27-minute video in response to the satellite drop. So Wolfie's got his little puppies out there taking a look at the satellite video. We must have struck a nerve. So we'll take a look at Wally's stuff and see what's going on there. Hope you enjoyed the thumbnail. I enjoyed putting it together. SpaceX, you probably have seen their magnificent achievement the other day. We'll take a look at that if we have time. And guess what we're going to talk about? That's right, folks. More straight line talk. This is your home for the hardest hitting talk about making a straight line. But seriously, we've got some new ideas. I think Babs might join us and talk about an idea he has. There's a lot of talk about it over the last 24 hours. We got a lot of people talking about this straight line. Really. Hopefully we can come up with something, man. I think if we just keep pounding away, we'll get it. Somebody out there's got the idea. Somebody out there has the winning idea. And one of these days, it's going to click into place. Hopefully, it doesn't take years and years. We'll see. Anyway, let's see who we got in chat today. We got page 42. You got notified. Good. Notifications are working. Good, good, good. Neo the One, Anthony Burrows, Chrissy Heavey, Matrix Media, Mark, Almost Unbelievable, a.k.a. Ranty, Professor Phil Bell. I really enjoyed your cameo, Phil. It was very good, very funny. Chrissy Heavey and the Snark, all in the house so far. Hope everybody's doing pretty good out there. We got some people in Discord. Why don't we take a look? Let me get my shill drop out of the way. Here is the link for Streamlabs. Should be working again. Pin that at the top. If you want to support the show, it will read your message, usually. A couple other things. I cross your fingers. I think I figured out what the technical issue is again. Hopefully it sticks this time. But you'll notice the chat's a little different in YouTube. I had to kind of delete what was there and redo it. And I changed the encoding. So if it looks funny, if it looks like total shit, I don't think it does. Let me know. I'm looking at the little picture on my YouTube viewer here, my streaming, what is it called? Preview. And it looks a little fuzzy. So let me know if it's like totally unreadable or if it just sucks. And I'll see what I can do. And let me know if the sound sucks too. Okay. Anyway, let's go into Discord and see what's going on.
The more skeptical ones might not, but I mean, we got tons of stuff like that. You know,
it's not like you know, everyone with the same brush. 100 people will see it, maybe 95 will reject it, but that 5% still important.
That's true. No, I hear that.
Everyone is worth it. Look at the other channel there. Every day there's at least one person comes in that I've never seen before. That's a full-fledged bona fide knower that the earth is flat. And once you know,
24/7,
you never, ever, ever have a concept of balls again.
Those are my peoples over there. I feel you. They're see you over there.
They work
hard. You over there.
They try their best. You know?
I mean, to me, in my mind, I can justify Nathan Thompson putting on the duck suit if that even changed one person's mind. You know what I'm saying? If we just got one person off of that.
I saw Elton John in Central Park, and he wore a duck suit. And I'll tell you, it's magic because you may not know it in the arts, and he's doing arts. I don't care what anyone says, but when you dress up silly like that in a duck suit, like Elton John did, and everyone laughs, and then he gets behind the piano and he starts into music, the duck suit disappears. Same with
No,
Nathan
I
Thomas
get it.
in the duck suit. They might laugh initially, but that
Yeah.
suit 100% dematerializes when people are focused and in that zone.
I
So
feel you.
I understand the duck suit where you may not there, apparently.
No,
It's
I
high art.
feel you. Like if even if he even got one person from that, you know, I think you could justify it being worth it. Because I mean, let's face it, a lot of people are gonna
I've
look at that
converted
and
a
be like,
few, and the like Jordan, I gave him a laser. He was globe until he had one of these 50-mile green lasers in his own hot little hand. And my old Boy Scout master, 2 years pumping flat Earth into his brain. One Saturday morning, his jaw's on the ground, and he opens the door for me. He can't even speak hardly. He's like almost catatonic in his stupor, because that night, I guess, or whatever, he realized how freaking flat it was. He couldn't even
it
talk.
really hits you. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
figure it out, it really hits you.
The
When
worst
you
thing
figure
is,
it out, go ahead.
he got over it. He was happy, and he wanted to share it with his son and daughter, grandkids. Last 2 years, he hasn't even been able to go and be with them at Christmas. He's been excommunicated by them. He's like a
Oh yeah,
leper or
people look.
something, like he has a disease. They're treating their
Yeah,
own
people.
father like he's the most mentally ill and he might axe murder everyone.
I don't even blame his family though, because we've been brought up to just intrinsically think that this is just a silly thing, and it's to be ridiculed immediately, and anyone that even thinks of the notion
That's
is
worse than ridicule, especially older people, the isolation and pain and, it can kill you.
I hear
It can
you.
make you age faster and die.
Hey, Brandon, how you going?
What's up, guys? I was just listening in. Thought I'd let you guys finish up your conversation. Good. How are you?
Good
Mike?
afternoon.
So what's the ingredients for a successful show tonight then?
Well, we have some stuff. Well, you guys are the only ingredients. That's all it takes.
Oh, you're
Yep.
so sweet.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, we have dark matter doesn't exist after all, new research suggests in the headlines. That might be fun to talk about. I hope SE pops in. We've got Where's Wally? Did a 27-minute video on the satellite cloud drop. We can talk about that. We got SpaceX crash we can take a look at. Watch that thing blow up a couple times. And no, there's something else. Oh yeah, the founders of NASA. We can talk about the shady past of the founders of NASA, just to remind everybody of who we're dealing with, or at least the origins. So what do you guys want to start off with? Want to talk about dark matter real quick, or what?
Go on.
wait and see. We should wait for SE.
Yeah, okay.
Matter.
All right. Yeah, we can wait for SE on that one. Then let's talk about SpaceX. Bab say he was coming by, Jeremy? I thought he said he was going to come by.
You guys were still in there when I left.
Okay. All right. Cool. I know he has an idea. We can talk about that. Okay.
That I'm not crazy about, but yeah.
Yeah. Might as well.
Is that
kick
a
it around.
rocket with a heat nose or just some type of thing beside a smaller rocket?
I don't know. What are these
Can I
two
help you?
rockets?
Nose. Yeah, one of them has a nose
No
apparently.
one's in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that thing right there. Gotcha. Here they are taking off. This isn't the fun part. Do they let people watch these ones?
Horizon. Most rockets I've ever seen take off, like, homemade ones, other stuff, they go whoosh, they're goddamn gone. This is mushing along like it's being led by a team of sled dogs.
They do go
How's
very
it
slow.
accelerating with that little flame? Are you kidding me?
I've seen.
Look how slow it's going up. Hot air balloons go up faster.
Oh, Brian, your mic's a little distant.
But that's so freaking slow. It's like a turtle.
Is that better?
That is, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is remarkable how slow it is. It really is. I know the left
And the
of us were
gas
saying
coming
that.
out. You see that cloud is just sort of dissipating to the side, not pushing down with thrust and force. It's just like it's burned, it's spent. Let me move to the side now with the breeze.
Do you know
It's
what it
ridiculous.
reminds me of?
What's that?
This is worse than comedy. It's so pathetic a fraud. I don't know. Call it what it is as we're watching it.
Thunderbird 2.
You're showing your age.
Thunderbird
So what's all
2.
that blue and no cloud now at all?
Yeah, the
Was there
big
cloud
fat one
earlier?
that used to plod around.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. Let me
Oh,
see if
come on, you do.
It looks like a claymation almost cartoon from the past.
That's it. That. Did you ever see that take off? That doesn't look the same.
This is the real space agency we're looking at now.
is this a
Well,
real
Thunderbird.
thing?
Yeah,
Thunderbird.
Yeah.
as real. It's as real as SpaceX.
Okay, that kind of real.
They even had a base on the moon. Come on.
I never watched this. How did I not watch this? I watched
You
everything.
probably weren't even thought of.
Okay, from the 60s, 70s?
60s.
Oh yeah.
Watch it take off. See if you can find a bit of footage of it taking off.
It takes off like a Harrier jump jet, though, doesn't it?
But it's like painfully slow, isn't it?
Oh, let's see if I can get a video of it taking off. Here we go. Thunderbird
Jerry,
2 launch 1965. I didn't think you guys were that old.
No, I'm not. I'm only 24.
Oh, right.
Liar.
Right.
Hey, folks, I remember this. I was born almost in the 60s.
This looks better than that ISRO stuff, though. They should hire the guys
Doesn't
who
it?
did these.
It is the guys that done that.
Oh,
This is really real.
Well, this is good.
This to me looks more realistic than SpaceX.
You could always see the strings on the puppets, though, couldn't you?
See, even the trees fold down.
Wow.
That's sort of James Bondish and Batman, the gate falling down when they come out with the Batmobile.
Why even put the trees there in the first place, right?
Hide the place, mask it, top
Okay.
secret.
I gotcha. Good point. Here it goes.
Notice the colour, British racing green.
Oh, this is a
Yeah,
Brit
'cause-
thing. That's why I've never heard of it. Okay. I got you now.
This was the secret base. That's why it all had to be covered up with palm trees and stuff. But just watch the speed that it takes off.
Oh, it's slow too. Okay. This looks like the guys from what is it? Team America.
Yeah. And
I
I'm
think
sure
that
this
was
is what
partly the idea.
I'm sure this is what it's evolved from.
Oh, well, here back to reality, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It looks like the wind has caught the thrust.
Look how much sideways thrust there is.
The
It's not
wind is more powerful than the thrust.
That thrust
Well-
is supposed to be keeping this multi-ton thing aloft too. Here it
Well,
goes.
is it losing control? Yeah, the gyroscopes have failed.
We came back just in time.
Complete
It
nonsense.
looks a lot like the old German V2 fucking rocket there. Really? Just looks like an old V2.
Uh-oh. It's not looking
the
good.
Steam coming out the back.
Wish I could play some of the sound. The reactions are pretty funny and the sound's pretty good, but they'll pop me for sure.
It's nice there's no clouds to fall through, even blue sky for
Now you can
some
see
shots,
when
we got
people
all
say
kinds
they're
of
blue.
clouds, the angles, and then all of a sudden, no, we don't need clouds here.
Freeze?
I remember when the Challenger space shuttle blew up. What was it, about 87 would have been, 86 maybe.
I
And
weren't born then.
the commentator was watching it go up and it explodes, and he says there appears to be a major malfunction.
Yeah.
Just as here, such an understatement.
Well, that one too, like the Hindenburg disaster, all staged, all for show, end of story.
Oops,
Yeah.
I think I
The
cut away just
Hindenburg
at the
was
wrong
all
time.
scripted by MI5, the British, through their Pathé Films, the propaganda company they had. And same thing with this NASA shit. It's through the CIA and the government, military, and ends there.
Yes, and we will
Where's this
talk more
camera
about that
view?
for sure.
This camera view's right underneath it, is it?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd too. But I guess you.
Oh, look at that for a jet thrust coming.
What a Thunderbird view. Oh, this is amazing. Thunderbirdies. How did they get the camera underneath its ass like that?
There it
Wonderful footage. Not scripted at
Look
all.
at the halo around the explosion. You can see that is CGI.
Let's look
Yeah,
at
it
it one more
wasn't
time because it
plotted
did
on
look
the
fake as hell, didn't it?
Or- No. It's not plotted in animation, you know.
Did you
Really,
see
they
that?
got that.
Oh, sorry, Jimbo. Did you see that zoom? Watch this.
Yeah.
This is like cinematic right here, right? Watch the
Yeah.
different camera angle.
Perfection. It's a
Definitely.
money shot. It never leaves the scene. I could do that if I tried.
And you notice how quickly the mushroom smoke dissipates. Almost gone.
I've seen more thrust come out of a space heater than that.
Let me make it bigger. Yeah. Look at this thing.
Whoops.
It looks
A
like a
major
scene from like
malfunction.
Avengers or something. The camera work. Bam.
It's more Thunderbirds.
Just
more
run that again.
Space 1999.
Run it again.
Just another
Sure.
science fiction show running. This is really just another science fiction show, long running.
Yep. Yep. Ooh. Pretty good work. I mean, not too bad.
I like that curvy horizon in the background there.
Oh, yeah, you can see the curvature. Let's take a screenshot of this and pinch it down. Just kidding. All right. Let's see here.
Squeeze it from the side, maybe the spaceship won't crash.
Randy put something in chat. Let's see what this is. Uh-oh. Oh, come on, man. I don't know. I guess it is real, though, huh? You can hear the people.
Look at the reflection on the water. Don't have fake.
What do you think, Randy? You think this is authentic stuff here?
It's a sympathy card is all. Oh, we're only human. We'll do better next time. Figure out what went wrong in the scrap and debris of the crash. Pull out pieces and figure out, oh, this little valve failed. So
There would have to
improve
be-
that little valve.
There would have to be billions of people in on this if it was fake, guys. Come on.
It's interesting that it crashed at the same point that it took off on.
Well, that's the whole point of these re-landing, you know?
I mean,
Using their shit, right? Yeah. Right.
it malfunctioned up a couple of miles up in the air. Well, how come it lands back on the launch pad?
It's faithful.
I guess in their defense, it was coming down. They were trying to land it on that thing.
It's like a homing pigeon.
I guess, yeah.
A
Phil
homing
says,
rocket.
yeah, they spent $50 million just to fool a bunch of silly people, right?
We've got SE with us. Hey,
Oh,
SE.
if I could overcharge for
Hey,
fuels and
how's it going?
everything and tons of them, I'd have money in my pocket and I wouldn't care if you blew up what you put my fuel in. I've sold it. It's yours. Burn it however you want. Burn it in the air, burn it on the ground. I don't care. I'll sell you more for your next piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? You want thiocol? I'll sell it to you. Put a bunch of money in my pocket. You want LOX, liquid oxygen, whatever. Liquefy it, sell it to you. Make whole shitloads of money. There's supposed to be
People act
15
like this
million
is-
pounds of thiocol on the space shuttles.
People act like this is a person losing money when this thing blows up. This isn't a person losing
No, my
money. This
money
is-
is made. If I've sold the shit, it's already, I don't care what happens to it.
Yeah, people aren't
I'm
losing
saying-
money. They're making tons of money off of this. Doesn't matter if it blows up, goes to space, whatever. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, now they have to build
The
another
money's
one.
made. The money's made. Yeah, now they make more money. It's better for them if it blows up.
And
Now they
Alexander,
get to justify it.
Alexander Lightwater says, an accident now, and then we'll create more reality in the eyes of the gullible fandom. And they can say there's delays, too. Oh, that cost us a year. We won't be going to the moon until 2026 now, or whatever. That's not the case for this, but you know what I mean?
More added to Mars now.
Yeah,
well, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I figured you'd be
where's
sad.
Our space hotel? They're already selling rooms in it. Where's the construction of our space hotel? The progress for that? And Rumpus the other night said, "Oh, they can't make anything go that high in the sky. It's not practical. Like, you know, something to look out at the horizon, 35,000 feet. But they want a space elevator. You know, so the double talk is always there. Oh, we can't make things that high, but we can make a space elevator. Just nonsense, all of it."
Hey, Brandon,
Yo.
I wasn't going to come on tonight because I'm very busy, but I heard the bad news, and I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to be the one to break it to you, SE, but maybe dark matter doesn't exist after all, new research suggests.
Oh, my
Wasn't
God.
that science? Wasn't that science?
I almost drove off the road.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. What's that, Jeremy?
Yeah, the problem is if you drive off the road, you drive into a church or a titty bar in Montreal.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of place. Maybe dark matter doesn't exist. Observations of distant galaxies have seen signs of a modified theory of gravity that could dispense with the invisible, intangible, and all-pervasive dark matter.
Well, they need something to put there. They got to have something. You can't just get rid of it and have nothing.
So what did they find? I'm curious. I'm dying.
Well, let's read it. Let's see what's going on. For decades, astronomers, physicists, and cosmologists have theorized that the universe is filled with an exotic material called dark matter that explains the stranger gravitational behavior of galaxies and galaxy clusters. I would tell that story a different way, but that's okay. We'll give them that.
I would use something like string theory or something.
Yeah. Dark matter, according to mathematical models, makes up 3/4 of all the matter in the universe, but it's never been seen or fully explained. And while dark matter has become the prevailing theory to explain one of the bigger mysteries of the universe, some scientists have looked for alternative explanations for why galaxies act the way they do. All right, let's get to the meat of this thing. In research published in November in the Astrophysical Journal, the scientists report tiny discrepancies in the orbital speed of distant stars that they think reveals a faint gravitational effect, and one that could put an end to the prevailing ideas of dark matter. The study suggests an incomplete scientific understanding of gravity is behind what appears to be the gravitational strength of galaxies and galaxy clusters, rather than vast clouds of dark matter. Did you hear that? An incomplete scientific understanding of gravity.
Wow. Like we're not have been saying that for the past few years, huh? First time we hear that.
What is this? Was this article written by Flat Earthers?
Yeah, this was
Wow.
posted on the flatearth.com. That might mean
It's going
pure
to be
math.
painful.
What's that?
This is going to be painful for a lot of people on this forum.
To let go of the dark matter?
Yeah, and gravitation there not being what they think it is. And
Yeah, but they still have their dark energy, Brian. That hasn't been taken. We'll give them some time with that one.
for now.
Let's see, what else did I say? That might mean pure mathematics and not invisible matter could explain why galaxies behave as they do.
Why didn't I think of that?
That is
Use
a
math.
hilarious
Mathematics.
Did
Damn.
you say that? Is that what they said, or did you make that up?
No,
Brandon?
that's what they said. I know it sounds like satire, right? That might mean
Pure
pure
mathematics
mathematics and not invisible matter
cause.
could explain why galaxies behave as they do.
Math is the cause
Wow.
of why the galaxies are moving like they are. Math.
Yep.
That's your cause.
Yep.
Wow.
Well,
that's
is
the
it like
nuttiest thing I've heard.
algebra? Is it like Roman numerals or Arabic letter math? What did they didn't specify?
No, they said pure. It's pure mathematics.
Pure math. Okay.
Math doesn't cause things to happen. Newsflash. Snapple fact.
I was expecting something good, but not this good, Brandon.
That's crazy. I can't believe they said that. The Globers will never go for this. They'll deny it.
They'll
say this is pop science and it's BS.
Probably.
They know math doesn't cause anything. Everybody knows math doesn't cause anything to happen. It's not pure nonsense. I can't stand these science journals. It's all clickbait and nonsense they put out.
Yeah, this is NBCnews.com, mind you. But the people who did the study is Astrophysical Journal. Let's see if I click on it. Knowing NBC, it's a completely different thing than the headline. Testing the strong equivalence principle, detection of the external field effect in rotationally supported galaxies. Ugh.
It's not only there. Here, I have something in life science. Check this out. In string theory, black holes are neither black nor holes. Instead, the best metaphor to explain what a fuzzball is to look at another compact and weird object in the universe, neutron stars.
Huh.
It's like incredible. A fuzzball.
Fuzzball.
Word for word, yeah. If you go to lifescience.com, string theory, fuzzball. Word for word.
Did you say Bev was coming over, Brandon?
Babs.
Babs.
String theory. Okay, let's check this out. So it's funny though that now they're saying it's not invisible matter. It's not matter that we can't see or detect. It's pure mathematics. As if that's better.
That's nonsense. That's way worse. That's incoherent gibberish.
Yes,
Math is causing.
string theory is nothing more than that.
Left Lane, do you think math causes things to happen?
Math?
Math.
Or
You think
math?
Math causes.
No,
No,
math.
of course, is that silly?
I just
silly?
think math is used to describe things in reality that maybe would be difficult to describe otherwise.
Yeah, if I told you math caused something, you'd probably just laugh at me, right? Like, that's
Yeah, no, math is a tool.
Yeah, no, it's a descriptor, but whatever, yeah.
Let me read one more paragraph if I can, guys. You're going to die of laughter.
Go for it.
Fuzzballs aren't fully fleshed out, even in theory, because as cool as string theory sounds, nobody has ever been able to come up with a complete mathematical solution for it. Yeah, no kidding.
Okay,
So fuzzballs aren't just fuzzy in physical reality, but also fuzzy in mathematical possibility.
Let me tell you how stupid string theory is. They think there's these one-dimensional strings. One-dimensional. That's holding everything together. One dimension.
Yeah, but they go up to 23 or 24 now, Jeremy.
No, but the strings themselves, they're one-dimensional objects.
Vibrating. Yeah, to cause everything. Yeah.
Call me dumb, but what is a one-dimensional object?
Nonsense. That's what it is.
The problem with any lie, when you keep lying to bolster that lie up, it gets more ludicrous as they go on. And this is what we're getting to now. It is just ludicrous.
String theory is dumber than dark matter.
In a sense, I feel bad because I thought they were going to replace dark matter with dark universes or dark galaxies. But who would have thought numbers? Math. Wow.
Well, I mean, math causes things. We all know that.
The thing is with maths, you see, they can make it say whatever they want it to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it causes things. So, you got to go with that, I guess.
Well, that's why I think they needed the space. They needed the vacuum of space because it makes their mathematics work. All they have to do is worry about the numbers. They don't have to worry about anything in the medium.
Yeah,
the thing is, they painted themselves into a corner with the mathematical model that they've made, and it doesn't work. And they're trying to figure out how they can make it work. That's what they do. They're not trying to figure out reality. They're trying to figure out how their mathematical model can work.
Right.
But what doesn't work? I mean, the string theory, I don't have any. What I've studied about string theory, it's fantastical. And I don't think that it's actually got a good foothold in in the scientific community as
You don't
being
think so?
anything to it.
It's
No.
not got a foothold in reality, mate, let alone scientific. It is absolutely ludicrous.
Jeremy, I've got
And
a
it's
question
like
for
their
you.
vacuum of space. Their vacuum of space, they have to prop this shite up. But then when somebody says, well, how have we got air pressure next to a vacuum? Then it all goes to shit, you know, and they have to lie about that, make more nonsense up, to prop that shit up.
But nowhere in the model does it say that there's pressure next to a vacuum.
Well, okay, so this is kind of a contradiction though that you're saying, right? So we have this area of, we'll just call it a vacuum, no pressure, right? Or as close as we can get.
Right.
And then we have this area of pressure, high pressure.
Right.
Now they are next to each other, right? And there's no barrier in between them, right?
But see, that's, of course, everybody knows that we talk about the gradient, and we know that the pressure decreases with altitude. And the question is, why would that gradient cease except at zero?
But they are still next to each other. It's just a matter of the space in between, the gradient, like you said. So I guess your guys, here's my feeling on it. Okay, you guys on the panel probably disagree with me. I understand how you could believe it's plausible for this this gradient or gravity or whatever to keep it all there and have this gas ball next to a vacuum, but I've never seen it, and gravity is such a weak force. I just can't believe it without seeing some physical demonstration that that's going to happen. But I understand how you could think that, talk yourself into believing that that's a real thing, a gas ball inside of a vacuum.
Yeah, I mean,
some real mental gymnastics to buy that one.
Well, see, to me though, it's not. It's. I mean, I don't have any issue whatsoever with it. I mean, it's just an easy concept for me to imagine. You know.
Yeah, once somebody's got a reasonable explanation that satisfies themselves, then there's no point in arguing with them.
Right.
Well, I'm not a rigid kind of guy. I mean, I'm always open, and I try, I make an effort.
Yeah, but
open.
if you are satisfied with the explanation of how we can have a vacuum next to a gas pressure with the gradient explanation, if you're satisfied with that, then there's nothing we can say that's going to change your mind on that.
Oh, you'll never change the mind of none of these hardcore. I mean, Left Lane's a little less hardcore than, some other dudes at Gems or something, but still.
But it's a two-way street, though, Jeremy, isn't it? That if we're satisfied with our explanation, then there's nothing else to be said.
Except talk about it, And like I got mad last night on the after show, and I hate it. That's one reason that I don't interact on a lot of these panels, is because I get fighting mad when the insults come out and people call me names and stuff. But if we can talk about things, we can talk about anything, no matter how diverse or differentiated, or it's just a matter of communicating and being respectful.
Respectful to each other. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah.
Left Lane.
We've all been there, Left Lane. We've all been there.
It's all part of our passion for this subject. So you do have to let it slide a little bit. We all are very passionate about this, including yourselves and the baller side of it. Else we wouldn't be here, would we? We'd be down the fucking pub if they were open, like other guys.
Yeah, it's the tough skin, I guess, that you would call it, that you've got to develop to have any durability in the conversation,
I think the question for me, and I can't speak for anybody else, what is the truth? That is what I want to know, because there are so many questions. And I do ask this to many ballers. Is there not one thing that you've been approached with that's made you stop and think just for a split second? Could this all be nonsense?
No, the one thing that I can think of off the top of my head is a coincidence of the moon and sun having approximately the same angular size. That You know, that makes you go, huh? How about that? You know,
And the moon orbiting in absolute sync with the Earth's turning as well. We only see one side of the moon all the time.
oh, the tidal locking. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that we see only one side of the moon is a pretty big coincidence.
Yeah, it's though it's fixed like with a cam belt, so it's timed to rotate perfectly in sync with the Earth.
Not a second off.
I mean, what chance is that? What?
Not 1
freaking
second
chance?
off where even after 10, 20, 100 years, we'd see the other side of the moon. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, we've got to be careful that we're not using special pleading here. And what happens with the moon in the sky has nothing to do with what we're standing on a flat
Well, no,
plane.
it doesn't.
That's
But what
true.
we're saying is it is more of an evidence that this place is not what we think it is.
It opens questions as to why is that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And for it to happen as a absolute random chance of that has got to be nil. It's got to be zero and a million zeros after it.
Yeah, if there was an absolute proof of either side, then Brandon wouldn't have a show, would he?
That's true.
No, and I wish there was. I don't want there to be a show.
No, I
rather have
don't.
the
I wish
proof
we
than the
all
show.
knew the absolute truth. I wish this wasn't even a debating subject.
Absolutely. Yes.
I do too.
That's what that's
And
That
it's
makes
like
3 of us.
We're listed flat earthers. Earth cannot be flat. If Earth was flat, there'd be no need for surveyors, would there? Because they'd have their reference as a flat Earth.
And an infinite plane is the more accurate description, then, isn't it?
No, the only thing that is flat is our seas, isn't it? Everywhere else, there are very small sections of flat Earth, but everywhere else has hills or valleys or depressions or whatever. Even under the sea is all shapes. But what proves it to me is liquid water will always find its level.
Yeah.
And that, to me, states a million times over that this is not what we've been told. I don't know what it is. I honestly do not know what we're living on, but it ain't a spinning ball in the vacuum of a space. It's a load of bollocks.
Well, you're talking about coincidences. The sun and moon is a good one, and that's what got Brummy in the end, I believe.
yeah.
But the other ones we're just the right distance from this 93 million mile away sun, and tilted just the right way, and spinning at just the right speed so that it maximizes the livable space between the north and south Arctic regions, and for the most part, that's all livable space that we can grow crops and everything else. It's like you're a detective, right? And you go and you find the suspect, and he's got blood on his hands. Oh, I was butchering a cow, and then he was on the same street where the murder happened at the same time, and he was on video. Oh, I was just going to rent a movie, and you keep finding all these coincidences. And there's always an excuse. There's always a story, always just some plausible thing. If you want to believe it, you could believe it. But at some point, you got to stand back and say,
hold on.
It's like a coincidence fucking smorgasbord.
Hold on. And then they DNA test the blood and find out it was the victim's blood. And he says, well, she had a nosebleed earlier, and I got some of it on me. It's excuse after excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. All we're lacking is the video of her getting killed. That's what we're lacking at this point. The smoking gun. Everything else. It's like if you took this to trial and no one had heard about the ball Earth or flat Earth, and you presented the two things, I gotta believe
the globe would lose.
What's that?
The globe would lose.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. Imagine you'd never heard of it, and then one day somebody came up to you and said, "You know what? We're living on a giant ball that floats around in nothingness." Be like, what the fuck?
We should raise a jury. We should raise a jury and not tell them anything. Never let them leave the house, and present them with this, and then present them with this evidence.
No, you know what we'll do? Here's what we do. We go down to South America, by India. There's this island where the people have never had contact with us. They've never had contact with society at large. They've been living on that island for thousands of years, and they try to kill anybody who comes. That's a drawback to this plan. But we'll go there and we'll maybe kidnap, or you can't pay them because they don't have money. I don't know. We'll talk them in, right? We'll take some hot babes with us. We'll get some of these guys to come with us, and then we'll sit them down and we'll tell them, you live on a ball, and see what happens.
Yeah.
See if they buy it or not. Yeah.
See if they buy it or not.
I tell you
Tell
what.
them about dark matter. Well, maybe not dark matter now, but we'll tell them about all the stuff.
Although we spend the majority of our time trying to convince other people that the Earth isn't what we've been told, if I had my time again, I wouldn't want to know, because it's been a very, very painful journey. And I don't know if I'd want to be the one who takes somebody through all this, that all the abuse and friends deleting us off Facebook and all that.
Oh, you're like the guy in the Matrix that wanted to be plugged back in. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss. I hear you.
Yeah, it's so painful journey, but now having been through it, I'm glad I went through it and come out the other side.
Yeah, at first, I mean, when you first get to that point where you're seriously considering it, because I don't know about you guys, but at first I heard about it and I was like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. It can't be true.
I thought you people were idiots. Yeah, I thought you guys were fucking morons.
But there was a twinge inside me that kind of said, you know what? I have always kind of thought things are weird. So I went and watched the videos, and it wasn't like right away I was like, oh yeah, this is true. I had already accepted that the moon landing was fake. That was step one. And then, you know, you get into it, and when you confront that time where you're like, is this really true? And you're just racking your brain and watching videos for like 20 hours a freaking day and researching and looking everything up that you possibly can look up and searching for answers and trying to find something that makes it click into place.
Even now, it's even now at the point I'm at, when you wake up in the morning, it's like you almost can't believe that it's happened. This is happening. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I remember staying awake most of the night with all these things going through my head all the time, and I must have dropped off at some point. But you know, it really is a life changer.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a while now, so I'm used to the idea. But at first, it made me totally paranoid. I think that's why flat earthers tend to gravitate towards a lot of other conspiracy theories. I know a lot of people think it's the other way around. You're into all these other conspiracy, and it is, but it makes you more open to other crazy things. Because if they tricked us into thinking that the Earth is a ball and it's actually flat, what else is possible? You know, are there actually lizard people? You know, you start thinking all this shit. You're like, what else could be true? And I found most of those. I haven't really found much in any of those, but I haven't been able to falsify flat Earth.
I flip-flopped with the flat Earth idea for, I don't know, it must have been over 6 months at least. I kept going back and forth. I'm like, I don't know, this shit is crazy. But just the more you look into it, and the arguments have gotten so much better that it's just,
yeah, but the first thing once it's sunk in, the first thing you want to do is go to the highest hill and shout it at the top of your lungs, and you know, try and convince all your friends of this as well.
Oh yeah, that was disastrous, right?
Yeah, Jared,
were very theatrical times. There was a lot of like drama, other stuff.
There was a lot of drama,
It was one that in the end wound up mysteriously dropping off the web, if I seem to recall properly, and having all that buzz. Oh, where did Tiger Dan go? That's just me, if my memory's correct.
What's Tiger Dan?
Tiger Dan wasn't authentic.
It's still in the back of my mind that this might be a release of information.
Tiger Dan did an excellent video on Bible verses that suggested that the Earth was flat. It was a brilliant video or documentary, and then he retracted on the whole thing. And I just wonder whether somebody in his church got to him. And he
could have been. I mean, Shaq came out and said the Earth was flat, and then came out a few days later and retracted it. People get at these people and they say, "Listen, you're going to be excommunicated, or you're going to be out of the money loop." You know,
Brandon,
Shaq's going to keep getting. You think Shaq's gonna keep getting the general commercials and fucking icy hot commercials if he's going around saying Earth is flat, going against the people that are paying him? Is
Yeah.
Kevin, Kevin Hovid, right? Or I guess that's his name, the creationist guy that debates evolutionists.
Ken
Hovind,
Hovind,
sorry.
yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's fucking great.
So he's great at debating creationism. You guys should bring up his thesis, Brandon, and read it, because in his thesis, which is his grand thesis that was years ago in the I think 70s, he wrote it. Anyway, I think you can get it from WikiLeaks, and in it he professes how he believes to be a creationist and he's a literalist, and everything in his thesis that now, when he's confronted with scriptures from the Bible, he denies. So it's quite interesting.
Well, he hates the flat Earth so much that, like the other one there with Mud Fossil University, they think we're evil or something. They just
he's convinced that it's
a horrid resistance to it and a fear that's beyond belief.
No, he's just thinking that it's an
the Earth is flat.
Yeah, he thinks it's an atheist joke to make fun of Christians. Is the whole point. It's bigger than that. It's designed to separate Christians. That's what the flat Earth is designed to do.
Kent Hovind on evolution is brilliant. Fantastic argument for the accuracy of the flood and creation, but it is so adamant that the Earth cannot be flat. It is a globe, and yet the Bible is very much a flat Earth book.
To be fair, Kent Hovind has done a lot of great work for evolution. He's got a lot on his plate with that, and people already think he's crazy. So if he brings flat Earth into it, but I am surprised that he's not along with this, because he knows that the science books are lying to you in school. He knows they are. He fights. Yeah. He actively fights to get these fucking science books fixed. So I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but he needs to wake the fuck up.
I think he should just stay away from making any comment about the show and stick to the flood and creationism.
There's only so much you can handle, right, in that arena.
Yeah.
If you're going to specialize in evolution and creation arguments, then you best to stick with that.
He's got a lot on his plate, and I don't, if he doesn't want to get in a flat Earth or whatever and wants to say it's a globe to make himself look more credible, whatever.
Like it or not, everybody's going to be forced into the flat Earth question. It cannot be, you can deny it, pretend it's not there, do anything you want, but the reality, I'm not going away. Are you? It's not going away. This whole thing is not going away.
They could make us fade away. How long before, Facebook's already banning people for flat Earth talk? How long before YouTube or Discord or Twitter?
These things are not so
United States it doesn't have a law against domestic terrorism yet. Okay, so Canada, for the recently, yesterday or today, announced Proud Boys to be a domestic terrorist organization. United States has turned off. Hold on, United States. Don't worry about it. Proud Boys is considered to be an alt-right extremist group, so it's been banned as a domestic terrorist group in Canada, which is completely false. But there's lots of rumors with the head leader, which is a black gay dude who supposedly might be an informant with the CIA now. The point is that domestic terrorism law has not existed in the United States yet. The Democrats are going to bring in this law, and they're going to use extremism to do it as terrorists. So watch, if soon as Flat Earth turns political, then you'll be part of the domestic terrorist group.
The only reason they want to remove Flat Earth from Facebook is because it's dumb, not because it's true.
Yeah,
so what it really is.
Did you see how fast that rocket went up? Whoosh! It was a rocket, not a mush.
Guys, does my mic sound okay now?
Yeah, that sounds good now.
All right. Sorry, Jimbo.
So do you don't think Flat Earth has enough movement to be political eventually in 5 years' time from now, when people are starting to gather together
really
and actually
a political subject, and it shouldn't be made into a political subject.
It will, because we're heading.
Reality. What's in
we're heading in.
Yeah,
but listen. Why do you think reality. What do you think all these debates are for? These debates are all about politicizing beliefs.
It comes to people slowly or not. It doesn't matter. It's not going away. And all these crystal balling of what's going to happen, and we're going to be branded terrorists and all this. I don't care. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I'm not worried about it. Fear porn, I've had it all my life, and I ain't buying it no more.
I'm just telling you guys.
All this, you can't beat City Hall is what you're talking now.
No, you can definitely beat City Hall. Absolutely. If everybody here understood that each leader that's in power, you can sue them personally.
I'm just telling you guys
Start suing. Don't talk about it. Show us how to do it.
Well,
I'm just telling you guys.
And you file the money.
Just talk about it.
I'm just telling you guys, our time is limited on these social media platforms. It's not going to be long before YouTube follows Facebook, and they follow Discord, follows them, and everything down the line. And we're not going to be on any of these.
Bye, Flat Earth.
Until then, let's keep on keeping on, okay?
Yeah, Carlos, do you think that's a good thing? In all honesty, to remove freedom of speech?
No, I don't think it's a good thing to remove freedom of speech. But unfortunately, Facebook and other platforms are private, and unless they claim to be not a private entity, but
what's doing? They're acting like but they're acting like publishers, right? That's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So
that's a big issue. I agree with you.
So that is the issue.
They are
so,
publishers.
Publishers are free to publish a book or decide to not publish a book.
Like the editor decides the content of a magazine or a book. Same thing.
So then they should be liable. And they should be liable for content that they release then.
Yeah, and if they choose not to release content, then they don't have to, and then here we are with our dicks in our hands afterwards.
I don't know.
So then you'd have to create your own platform, which we're doing, right? Slowly. I mean, this is a Google. This is a Google platform.
Where's our own platform? Where?
Well, we're on one right now where we can discuss freely.
You own Discord?
Hey,
yeah,
but how platform's going to be flat?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Anybody?
We hear you.
What's up,
But but this is.
Hey, I just wanted to make a comment. I heard you guys talking about the Proud Boys and all this stuff. I wanted to comment that you guys heard that Black Lives Matters was nominated to the Nobel Peace Prize or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well, Nobel Peace Prize is a joke.
Maybe
anyway.
we can get Jack the Ripper nominated for a Peace Prize. Even though he's dead, posthumous nomination and getting an award. Jack the Ripper, Attila the Hun, Hitler. Oh, my bad.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to the platform thing, because I see a lot of people who are on the edge as far as what's acceptable or within the terms of service, and they're getting kicked off one.
Oh, I don't know. A rocket on the back of it.
But that's the rocket itself. It still needs something to push off of. It needs a +1. You can't have a +1 and a -1 to create a force. You need a positive and a resistance.
The explosive reaction that goes on in the nozzle of that rocket, it creates a force in one direction and the rocket goes the other.
So the inside is the +1. That's where the pressure buildup is. The pressure being released has to react with another +1 to cause a force. You can't have a +1 and a -1. They cancel each other out. That's how force. How force works with resistance to cause pressure.
The +1 -1. I don't even follow what that means.
The engine rocket producing pressure is your +1. Okay, you're releasing that pressure. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Doesn't matter how you release the pressure. You're releasing the pressure. It's not some magical. It's the pressure, bro. It's just pressure. It doesn't matter if it's a chemical. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking air compressor. It doesn't matter what it is. You still need a +1 to react with another +1. If you don't have a +1 and a +1, you get a -1 and it makes it fucking 0. That's how pressure and resistance works. The pressure is +1. The resistance is +1. You get the first law, the transfer of energy. If you have a +1 and a -1, you don't have the first law. There's no transfer. So the energy is being produced in the rocket. That's your fucking +1. Who gives a fuck how it comes out? It's not some magical nozzle. It's a nozzle that spurts out the explosion.
It is a nozzle. It directs the force out the back of the rocket.
It does direct the force, but it's only a +1 coming out of there. It still needs a +1 to create a fucking reaction. You can't have a +1 coming out and then a negative or a -1 In other words, nothing to push off, no resistance to push off of, nothing to interact with. That's what the other +1 is. +1's the pressure, +1's the interaction. That's how we observe shit on Earth.
Math to prove your point.
I'm using the simplest way. I'm using the simplest way to describe when you have a resistance and
math is not reality.
So I'm describing the +1 as your force and +1 as your resistance to get the force. I'm using +1 and -1 to show you that if you had a +1 and 1, you would have no force as the idea. That's just, I'm using description. It's not reality. It's not reality,
Right.
but it can quantify. It can quantify the force and resist, or it can quantify the force and the resistance, right?
So is that also how turbines work? They push up for the air.
So turbines suck in the air from a nozzle. They also use combustion as well with high compressed. They use what? Some turbine engines use not nitrogen, because that's compressed. Yeah, you can use nitrogen in turbine engines. I think they're doing that now. That could be what they're doing. But anyway, the point is that the difference between the turbine engine and the rocket is a hole. The idea is they create thrust, right, through a form of combustion or pressure.
Okay.
So the result.
What about
So
motor
listen.
rockets?
So it's the same thing, dude. They have a plus acceleration. I'm saying no. The mass in the formula is resistance, and without that resistance, you have no acceleration.
No worky, right? Because no air, right?
So again, is it a true vacuum? No, it's contained with stuff, and it's in short distances, which any kind of explosion in that container will provide pressure. Period. So it's not a true observation. It's a disingenuous observation, and the fact that you guys keep bringing it up means you have fuck all.
Dude, you're not listening to what I'm asking. I'm saying a rocket in a alleged space that is a near perfect vacuum that wouldn't work, right?
So again, the whole point of my argument is
you can't even answer that question. You sound very smart, but you just
I'll answer it, Carlos. The answer is yes, correct. That's right, correct. It doesn't work. No worky. There's no white wedge
because no air to push off of.
That's right.
Again, so there's no hang on. Resistance
let me
to cause the pressure.
Listen, I'm not going to be here forever because I'm meeting up with Skyfree. But quick again. Listen, you got to take it back if you want to figure this out, Carlos. You got to go all the way. Okay, listen, hold on. You got to go all the way back to what Newton started with. What did he start with? He started with an observation.